Welcome to Mysterious Universal Chatter. This is Mockingbird coming at you. Um, I want to talk to you about some strange experiences. Um, I have seen a lot of things that I don't understand. I have experienced a lot of things that I don't understand. Um, um, the best thing one can do is like move if you can't, stop experiencing them. But you can only move so much, and then it's like okay. So, especially if you buy a house, then you can't move, right? I mean, that makes it even harder. But I just want to tell you that if you're experiencing things that are abnormal or beyond this realm of reality, that it's scary, or you don't understand it, or you see things that you don't understand, you're not crazy. Okay, a lot of people either have that gift, or there are things coming to you that you don't know what to do with it, um, like seeing lights, or you wake up in the middle of the night because your bed is shaking and you don't know what the hell's going on, and you're like, what is this? Or you hear knocking at the door and there's nobody there. Or you might hear a voice or something and there's nobody around. Or things move by themselves. Or um, things just fall out of place. Like you put it up and it's in a good spot and it's not going to fall, and then all of a sudden it flies off the shelf. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, don't think you're crazy. I mean, if it goes from like house to house to house, like when you're moving, it could be something with you yourself, or it could be more than that. Because like I think I've experienced things since I was little, so like I used to think they were like monsters in my bed, you know what I mean? But now that I think about it, was it really monsters? You know what I mean? Or was it just that I was a little girl not understanding what was there, or what I was looking at or what I was seeing? But I'd be terrified and wake up screaming that there's something in my room, that it had bright eyes, or things like that would happen to me, and I don't know why. But I mean, shadows, the same thing. I would see shadows, and I just wanted to put that out there so you know that you're not alone. Um, Sometimes I feel like uh, I'm sensitive, like I could feel people's energy or their emotions, or um, things like that. And I try to. It's very hard to be in a place with other people, because when you got all this energy coming at you. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but you got a lot of energy coming at you. Um, and when you feel that energy, it's like overwhelming for you, almost like you get an anxiety. But it's not that it's anxiety. It's that it's everybody's energy hitting you. When you walk through a door and all of a sudden you feel like, whoa, that's the energy of all the people around you. Because we all have like this aura around us, that we're all connected somehow, and we feel each other's anger and bitterness, and the good and the bad things, that goes on in our lives. We feel that, off of each other. But, some of us can pick up on it easy and some of us can't, so it's just a matter of can we understand it, you know what I mean? And how we affect each other, because that could be an issue too, like us affecting each other. Um, I've tried, like, I'll go out there and, be working, and have these people come in that are just like, whew, you just have to wonder what's going on in their heads. Like, you can feel the energy is so bad off of them, and it's overwhelming. Um, that's, that's like you're sensing them, you're sensing how they are before you even know them. And it's not a perception, because you're not making a perception of them. It's something that hits you before they even get to you. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but I have. And I just wanted to know, whether I'm alone in this or not. I kind of feel like I'm sensitive. I do like tarot card readings. Like, I like to read the tarot cards. Uh, I could show you that, and so you get to know like a little bit about me like that. I do I do deal with stuff like that. People say it's bad. I don't think so. I mean, to each their own, I guess. Um, but I've always done stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna say it's more recently than anything. Like the past couple of years is when I really dove deep into it and started, experiencing things. Um, it's been at least a good couple of years now. It's like my whole life changed because, like I said, I delved into the paranormal because something happened that I didn't understand. So it brought me to the point of starting to research and starting to look into things so I could try to understand what was happening with me. And, you get to that point where you're like, am I crazy? Am I really seeing this? Am I not seeing this? But in actuality, you really are seeing it, okay? And the worst part is that if you try to bring it to somebody, they'll make light of it or laugh at it, or, even if you bring them a photo, they're still like, oh, it could be this, that, and the other. But you know what you saw with your own eyes. So it got to the point where you just got fed up. I got fed up with just trying to explain to people that this stuff is out there and it's real. But I don't know why it's around me a lot. I mean, I've moved a couple of times and like it's still around me. But not, I'm going to say it takes like a couple of months before it starts up again. You know what I mean? And then like a couple of months go by and then all of a sudden it'll just start out of nowhere, and I'll find myself, you know, um, in pain when I wake up, or like, weird stuff, just weird. Like, I'll go to sleep perfectly fine and I'll wake up sick to my stomach. There's one time when I was sleeping in my bed, and I swore like a light came into my room, like a freaking, it just lit up the whole freaking room. And I was like, I was still awake. You know how you're teeter-tottering on falling asleep and you're still awake? That's how I was. Um, but I felt like this thing told me, um, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, don't be scared. Like it ain't there to harm me. So I kind of just fell asleep. I don't know if that's the way you want to put it. And then I woke up, I was outside my house, on the side of my house, almost like I was in a trance-like state, and then all of a sudden, like, the cat cried at my feet. My cat was outside, because she was like one of those outside cats, likes to be outside all the time. Um, and it just cried at my feet. And then all of a sudden, like, I snapped out of it, and I found myself standing there for absolutely no reason, but I knew not to look up. I kept on hearing like this loud humming, and I knew not to look up. There was a part of me that said, do not look up. Okay, so after that day, the next day goes by, and I'm asleep, and I must have got home maybe about 11 o'clock at night from work, okay? So I couldn't have got to the house till like maybe 11:40, take me about 40 minutes. And I mean, I went to bed. I was exhausted, so I went right to bed. Um, I woke up. It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't even get on my legs. Like, I fell straight to the ground when I got off the bed. I woke up screaming, holding my stomach. I was in such pain. I literally had to go to the hospital. I could barely walk. I was running a fever. I just out of nowhere, like freaking nowhere. I came home from work. I was perfectly fine. I was good. I felt healthy, everything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I couldn't walk. I couldn't think. Like, I was throwing up. I mean, I was sick like a freaking dog. Like, and I was freezing. Like I just stepped out of a freaking icebox, freezing. Like, when you get those chills when, like, like a chill that's so deep in your bones that you can't you can't warm up. That's how I felt. I was like shivering, okay? And my friend had to come home. My friend had to come to the house because I called him and told him, like, I had to crawl to the bathroom and be like, I was trying to find my phone, but I was so sick to my stomach that I had to get to the bathroom because I was throwing up. And my friend found me on the ground and had to put a blanket around me and take me to the hospital. And thank God for him, because I couldn't even get up, like, off my legs to stand up. I was crawling around the house. And I think that was like the final straw for me. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I would find myself, um, I, I mean, I went to bed in my bed, and then I found myself outside my house. Then the next day I wake up, went to work like nothing, everything was good, and then that morning I wake up and I hadn't even slept that long. Figure it out, you know what I mean? Had to be like, uh, I had to get home about 11:40, you know. Um, so what do you say, about maybe 5 hours? And I woke up like that, like screaming and everything. And I remember the doctor telling me that I looked like I had been examined, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I mean, when I was in the room, and she was like, "You look like you've been examined." I said, "Ma'am, I was uh, at work." I said, "I mean, this man knows I was at work because he came down to my job while I was at work to bring me a freaking hamburger. So, I know, he knows, we know, and whoever knows me knew I was at work. Even my, coworkers, everything. So there's no freaking way. There's no way I could have been examined." So, I mean, things like that don't seem right. You know what I mean? Missing time, where you just miss time and you don't know what the hell happened between this time and that time. That's me. So, I mean, that's why I'm doing this channel, because I'm trying to dive deep and figure out why, or, what is it? Or, I mean, what's the purpose behind it all, And, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, there has to be a reason. I mean, it just doesn't happen. You don't just wake up one day and, you're in your bed and the next minute you're outside by a garbage can. Or, things just happen, just bam, like that. I mean, it don't make sense to me. And I just want to give you a little background about it, because that's the reason why I'm researching, and that's the reason why I ask people, if they know about it, or if they ever had circumstances like that they can't explain. And I always felt like I was by myself because of that. Like, you know, people around me have seen the things I've seen only because they're around me. If you stay around me long enough, I say you're gonna see it, one way or the other. So, I mean, and everybody that has been around me long enough has seen it. So, I mean, I have one person, I'm not gonna mention her name because, but me and her were really close friends, and we had an experience that we can't even explain it. And I remember her running in the house and her nose was bleeding and everything, and I couldn't even understand it myself. It's almost like I was looking into this thing, and it seemed like it had this film over it or something, and I could see myself, in it. And then I was gonna light a cigarette, and I didn't light the cigarette. I kept holding it in my hand, like I knew not to light the cigarette. I looked up and I saw these like two suns, and it looked like two suns to me, or two stars. I mean, it was like, but it was like almost, I want to say, like twilight, where it's not bright bright. You know what I mean? And then there was like waves almost, but I saw myself on the other side of those waves, almost like I'm looking into a glass or a mirrored object, or you know what I mean. But it was like that. And I remember asking her, "Do you see what I see?" And she said, "Yes, I do." And we both, like, I backed up, she backed up because we were both scared. And she went into the house, I ran into the house behind her. And then a few minutes later, she's like, my nose is bleeding, my nose is bleeding. And I was like, what? So we're cleaning up her nose in the bathroom, and we go to the back deck, and like we see this thing just fly over the house. And we were like, what the? But we had no recollection of what had happened to us. And we were gone for like overnight. And then we were just back again. You know what I mean? And it was like, it made no sense to me. Like, how does that happen? And I don't know. So we lost time there too. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm just trying to figure it out. And, you know, I invite everybody to give me their stories and tell me your stories. And, you know, if I'm not alone in this, let me know. Because sometimes it feels like that, you know, because that's a hard thing to go out and tell people. You know, it's not like, you know, you meet somebody and go, oh, you know what happened to me? I mean, you don't do it. I mean, so the only way I could do it is like this, like an outlet for me. I mean, that's the only way where I could see if anybody else is hearing me and can tell me what's happening, you know what I mean, or why it's happening. And I mean, I'm spiritual to a certain extent. Like, I believe in source, and, you know, I believe in higher power, you know, and I believe that, you know, we're all connected somehow, you know. But, you know, if anybody wants to hit me up and, like, try to explain to me what's happening, or, you know, give me similar things, because people tell me stuff like, you know, it could be, you know, maybe you're sleepwalking. I never sleepwalked in my life. And it happened like one time. That incident happened one time. The other incident was at somebody's house. It wasn't even my house. It was somebody else's house. And she was just as stumped as I was. But it was because we hung out for a long period of time. And then all of a sudden, boom, she saw it too. And it's like, when I hang out with someone for a long period of time, eventually they see what I see. Because when that time comes that they come back, or, you know, it's time again, I mean, they don't care who's there. They're taking you with me. Or, you know what I mean? I don't even understand it, to be honest with you. So, I'm just putting it out there. I don't really want to know what happened to me, like, in that aspect, because, you know, sometimes we can't handle the truth, you know? So, in that aspect, you know, people have talked about, like, hypnosis and all of that, and, you know, I thought about it, but I'm just scared, I guess, of what I'm going to find out. You know, I mean, stuff has happened that I would just be like, mind blown, you know. I'm going to try to get more of these stories out and tell you more about it. It's my story, and the reason that I'm even doing this, because I feel like, you know, there's a time when you just have to tell, you know, you have to tell the story. And I mean, it's the hardest thing to do, because not too many people want to listen, and not too many people understand. And then people right away make assumptions of who you are and what you're about, and, you know, a perception of who you are. And it's like, sometimes you just got to stop and listen to the story, you know. I'm doing it like this because it's my easy outlet. So anybody else want to join me and talk to me, feel free. Because I would like some answers. Not for nothing. I mean, I know the truth is out there somewhere. So, all right, guys. You have a blessed night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Um, and we'll keep going. And I'll eventually get my stories out, you know. All of them. I mean, because there's a lot. I mean, it's almost like that's why I say it feels like it followed me, or it's following me, or it's always been with me and I just never realized what it was, or, you know, I don't know. But I'm still here, so that's a good thing. Alright, guys. Have a blessed night. Bye.